Hey friends, Sean here from smswillard.com, the communication coach and speaker. And today I want to share a little bit of a story with you and maybe a communication tip or two. For those of the more mature members of our community here, you will remember Peter Sellers in those movies about the Pink Panther. Pink Panther Strikes Again. And I was recalling that story this week that I want to share with you because I remember somebody saying something the other day where I thought they said that, but obviously misheard them. And for those of you who remember that story where Peter comes up to, I think it's a hotel or a motel, to check in. First of all, he's got this like French accent, so he's battling to communicate to the guy behind the counter. He asks for a room, and the guy doesn't know what he's speaking about. Then she gets his keys for his room, and then he's walking off to the room, and there's this beautiful little puppy, this dog on the carpet there. So he turns to the guy behind the counter and he says to him, "Does your dog bite?" This guy's busy smoking his cigarette, just shakes his head, Anyway, Peter goes down and says, like, "Nice doggy," and of course this dog bites his hand, He turns to the guy behind the counter like, "I thought you said your dog does not bite." Guy says, "It's not my dog." Anyway, probably laughing at my jokes, but I hope for those of you who remember the story, it gives you a giggle as well. If you recall, Peter Sellers loved those movies, and probably not half as funny these days if we watch it now, but in those days it was really, really funny. But there's a great point in it, and it's all to do with communication. I mean, how many times haven't you said something to somebody or heard somebody say something to you, and you could have sworn that's what they said, or that's what I said, that's what I meant. I mean, I told you to do that, didn't I? And but you didn't say that. You said this, and miscommunication, and all about perception, isn't it? And all about assumptions. That word. Well, when we assume that I've told you to do something, or I assume this is what you've told me to do. Can be two different stories, vastly different stories. And if our Peter Sellers had just said, "Is this your dog? And does your dog bite?" you would have got the right answer. So asking the right questions is important in communication. Articulating your words and the message behind the words. Remembering in communication that your words only count 7%. Your tonality counts a lot more, and your body language obviously counts the most. So when it comes to communication, make sure you not only choose the right words, but you make sure that you clarify the message behind those words. What is the message that you really want to communicate? Is the person that you're communicating to fully aware? And how will you know that? Maybe by asking the question. Maybe by asking, so what do you understand by what I've asked you to do? Or if the person, maybe that's not the right question to ask your husband or your wife, by the way, I'm talking in a business scenario. But if you're talking between, you're with you and your partner, your husband and wife, and you say, "So lovey, do I understand you to be wanting me to pick you up at 2:30 or 2:45? Around 2:30 can be 20 past 2, 2:30 for those of you who like me on time or always early. Or, if I rock up at 2:45, it's okay because it's around 2:30. No, around 2:30 for the other person is like 2:30 or 2:31 or 2:32. And then they start tapping a toe or tapping a hand and getting frustrated. So we can eliminate a lot of our communication issues and arguments and breakdowns just by spending a little bit more time clarifying what you mean, asking the questions that you need to ask. Is this your dog? Does your dog bite? This has been Sean from smswillard.com. Jump over my website and get your free ebook of quotes at www.smswillard.com, and I look forward to speaking to you again on the next video. Until then, have a good day.